Who are you when everything you've built your life around suddenly disappears? The marriage ends. The job vanishes. You lose a loved one. Loss doesn't just take the things that you love. It takes who you are. It shakes your self-worth. And then it asks, if you lose this, who are you now? Today, I'm going to share with you what I've learned about self-worth, and it's not what most of us have been taught. 13 years ago, I stood on the edge of Lake Como in Italy, hand in hand with my husband, exchanging vows. It was my second marriage. I was a preacher's kid, raised in the church, taught to follow the rules, and there I was, remarried, beginning again, and very hopeful. I remember the day. The sun was shining, the lake shimmered like diamonds. This wasn't just another beautiful place. This place was woven into my soul, tied deeply to my Italian heritage. After sharing a very romantic kiss, we began to walk away completely lost in the moment, when suddenly we heard shouts. Auguri, auguri. It means congratulations in Italian. The locals driving and walking by were celebrating us, cheering us on. I remember thinking it felt like redemption, like every broken piece of my past was being stitched back together into something beautiful. A few years before that incredible day, my life was in ruins. I had been married to another man, both of us ministers. We traveled across the country and abroad, sharing stages together, leading people in faith and in purpose. It was a memorable chapter in my life, one I will always respect. But unfortunately, it took a toll on the marriage. And when the marriage ended, so did everything I believed defined me. My career, the only thing I ever knew. My income, my community. You find out who your friends are during the hard times. And if that wasn't enough, I received a health diagnosis. Stage 3 cancer. I remember sitting in the doctor's office, staring at the wall, as the question ran through my mind, echoed through my mind. What else could life possibly take? I had lost everything. I had hit rock bottom. There's a type of silence that follows devastation, not the peaceful kind, the hollow kind, where certainty used to live. I stood in that space, gutted by loss, stripped of titles, the applause, and the identity that I thought would carry me through. But in that space, I realized something most people never prepare you for. If your self-worth is only allowed to exist when everything is perfect, intact, and nothing ever hurts, then you and I will never feel worthy again. Because life happens. It will fall apart. It will test you, it will strip you, and leave you wondering who you are, when all the proof of your worth is, poof, gone. I didn't feel hopeful, and I certainly didn't feel worthy, but I made a decision to act like I was, even if I didn't feel it. Psychology shows that actions lead, feelings follow. What does that look like? It's you getting up out of bed every morning, even when you want to hide. It's saying yes to your mother or friend and taking that walk around the block. It's finding one person to be your safe space that you can speak your truth to. And that's when everything begins to shift. We've been taught self-worth. It's something we feel, but feelings are unreliable. What if self-worth is something we decide, even when every feeling tells us otherwise? Culture tells us we are worthy when we're successful. Media tells us we're worthy when we're beautiful and admired. But research tells a different story. Research from psychologist Jennifer Crocker shows that when we tie our self-worth to things like appearance, approval, achievement, we don't feel more confident. We become anxious, the 4 A's, or as I like to call them, the annoying little voices that continually nag us, do more, be more, earn more. For me, it was achievement. I not only chased it, I allowed it to define me. And when it began to disappear, I felt like I was disappearing with it. Until one day, I heard that still small voice whisper, "Choose yourself anyway." And I say to you, choose yourself anyway. Choosing yourself isn't arrogance, it's self-respect, even when no one else claps. When you're barely hanging on and life feels broken, you're not left with nothing. You know what you're left with? You. You're the one who built it all to begin with. And you, my friends, are more than enough to begin again. A few things that helped me along the way. First, reconnect with your core values. Choose courage over comfort. And speak your truth, even when fear tries to hold you back. Second, redefine yourself slowly. A strong foundation isn't built overnight. So take small, deliberate steps moving forward. And when life feels overwhelming, try this. I call it the 60-second worth check. Put your hand on your heart. Deep breath. And ask yourself, what's one kind thing I can do for myself in the next hour? And then do it. These are the choices that pointed me in the right direction. I found my voice again, rooted in truth, not in applause. I raised an extraordinary son. Makes me emotional. I started writing books, 2 of which became international bestsellers. But it was a slow rise. And sometimes rising will look like you sitting in your car, tears streaming down your cheeks, and declaring out loud, "I matter, even if I don't feel it today." And these are the moments that remind us that being here is a victory. We all lose things that we believe define us. So I want you to ask yourself, what did I lose that I believe defined me? And then ask yourself, what if I'm not what I lost, but what I survived? You see, self-worth was never something you had to chase, never something you had to earn, never something you had to feel. It was there all along, waiting for you to claim it. It outlasts failure. It survives loss. And it's still here. So pause and choose yourself. Not tomorrow, not when everything is perfect, today. Because the world isn't waiting for more people who are trying to be perfect. You know what the world is waiting for? More people like you. Real, imperfect, brave, and brilliantly alive. So ignite your worth and be the fire this world has been waiting for all along.